Hi there, it's Simone. Today I'm looking at Robert Oster, Endless Pens, and Micahfinds Tea Time ink. And also I will be introducing the Ink Swap 2022. So let's start with the first part. The ink that I want to talk about today is called Tea Time. It is a collaboration between Robert Oster, the ink manufacturer, Endless Pens, an online store, and Micahfinds, who is an artist and is quite involved in the fountain pen community when it comes to designing pens and clearly curating an amazing palette of inks for this Cozy Comforts ink collection. I have purchased all of them, and Tea Time is one of my favorites of those. It is described as a desaturated green ink inspired by the color of matcha green tea, paired with gentle conversations, mindful journaling, or grounding meditation. As I said, it is part of a 6-color ink collection. The collection is called Cozy Comforts, and each ink comes in a 50 milliliter plastic bottle. When I do these ink reviews, ink journal entries, then I am using a Hobonichi A6. It was just a notebook that I had. It has Tomoe River paper, which is the preferred paper that I like to use with my fountain pens. And so it really works quite well for that purpose. I use 4 pages. On the first page on the left side, I transcribe a book. And it will take me a long time because the A6 pages are really small. The book that I am transcribing is The Mysterious Affair at Styles. It is the very first book in the Hercule Poirot series by Agatha Christie. And what I do is I test the ink with 4 different nib sizes. I do not fill the pens. I dip them into the ink. I know that might make a tiny difference in how the ink or the nib writes on the paper. Since I am doing this with most of the entries, I don't think that that's changing it so dramatically that I cannot see a tendency. In this sample, I'm not using the same 4 nibs every time. In this example today, I am using a TWSBI EF nib, a TWSBI fine nib, a Jowo medium nib that is in a Franklin Christoph pen, and a 1.5 stub nib that is on a Lamy Safari. I see by these entries in this journal that I definitely not an extra fine person. I had originally intended to swap out that extra fine nib, but I am thinking now that sometimes having some of those, a bigger variety of nibs, is helping with experiencing an ink fully, and they are sometimes justified. I enjoy F-nibs are good for precise entries when I need, especially in planners or something like that. I really like having an F-nib. And I'm currently thinking about adding a black ink in an F-nib because I feel like I need that. I also would love to have a waterproof ink for sketching. And that I would probably also do with an F-nib. So if you have a waterproof ink that you enjoy for sketching, leave it down below as a recommendation. And if you have not yet done that, then this is a great time to leave a like on this video. Just saying. I'm writing all of this first. Then on the right side of this spread, I am adding an ink splatter. I am using my new Kakimori dip pen, which is amazing. If you have wanted to try a dip pen and you're hesitant about the glass and you're willing to spend a little bit more money, I can highly recommend this pen. You can achieve different line widths. It writes 4 pages. It's really, I haven't never seen anything like that, and the way it works is just amazing. But that's actually not what I want to talk about. So I want to get through this really fast. So I'm adding an ink splatter, I'm adding an affirmation, I'm making a grid for a water test, I'm laying down a rectangle that has 3 different parts. I'm laying the ink down once, I am then adding a second layer to 2 of the boxes, and then to the third box I'm adding a third layer. And that is often quite interesting to see how it varies when there is a thick layer of ink. For the water test, I usually leave it on for 1 minute. That's exactly the same amount of time that I dip my chromatography strip into water. That's what you saw in the beginning. I start off my ink explorations with a chromatography strip because then I can put it somewhere and have it dry while I'm working on this entry. So how do I like the ink? It is definitely on one of my favorite inks. I am drawn to these olivey green inks. They are amazing shaders. I have Rohrer and Klingner Altgoldgrün, and I actually have a video of that one in the description box below. You can check that one out too. I will link it in the cards as well. I think that this ink is a little bit more yellow. And the Rohrer and Klingner, they are very, very similar. So if you're not into the green inks and if you enjoy these, but just one of them is enough. They're not that far apart on the color wheel to justify getting both, but they're both really, really pretty. While I continue working on this, I would like to invite you to participate in the Ink Swap 2022. I had this idea just a month ago, and I decided to just follow through with it and see where it leads. So signups are open right now. The link to that is in the description box. I will check if I can add it into the cards as well. So if you click on that, you get to a form that you can fill out. So what is the Ink Swap all about? It is to make new pen friends and also to get to know other people, get a little bit of happy mail, some other ink samples that you might not own yet, and to just enjoy that hobby together. Let me tell you about the dates, the time frame. I am anticipating sign up is open until September 16th. So today is, if you're watching this, when this is released, is August 29th, 2022. So that is a good 2 weeks of signups, even more than 2 weeks of signups. And you can think about it a bit, but I wouldn't. I would just go ahead and fill out the form right now. By September 23rd, you will receive an email with your ink buddies too. I will talk about that a bit further down, further into this video. And then you are expected to ship out your ink samples by October 7th. I originally had anticipated to leave it to the middle of October, but I was informed that it is really cold in some parts of the world at that time already, and it shouldn't be. People are afraid that frost and that might interfere with their participation in the ink swap, and I understand that. And so I think October 7th might still be a safe date, and it leaves you enough time to get organized. What you have to ship to your ink buddy is 3 samples with a minimum of 2 milliliters in each sample. Everything else is up to debate. What do I mean by that? So my idea was maybe it would be cool if I sent someone my favorite ink. Maybe I'll write why I love this ink so much. Maybe I have something that they said in the questionnaire that I'm sending out they would love, or a color that's their favorite, so maybe I can accommodate that. And then maybe I have a random ink sample that is so special that they can get as well. You could send some washi samples, you could send a card, you could make it pretty, but you don't have to. The main part that is required of you is to send out 3 samples. I encourage you to keep it small, to keep it doable, so that it is repeatable and an enjoyable experience for everyone involved. In the questionnaire, I am asking you for your email, your address, some of your favorite ink colors, what kind of inks you are using, if you're willing to ship internationally or not. Not meaning that you are residing in the US. If you are an international participant, then of course you are shipping internationally. What else? You are not swapping one-on-one. So the person you sent ink to is not sending you ink back. The person, so you have 2 ink buddies, one who is sending ink to you, and one that you are sending ink to. That gives you the chance to maybe start a pen pal friendship, something ink pen related with 2 different people. The swap is not anonymous, so when you receive your ink buddy email, you will receive a lot of information about the person that you are supposed to send to. You will get their email, you will get what they answered in the questionnaire, and you will also get the information or the name and Instagram handle or any other social media. I didn't specify that. I will do that in the one that you click on, their social media handle. There is people who do not have Instagram, but maybe YouTube. So I want to accommodate for that as well. You are encouraged to get to know these people before you send out your happy mail, so that you get to know their vibe, their style. What I would prefer you to do is surprise them and not make a list and say, here's the inks that I have, choose 3, and then just drop it in the mail. This is supposed to be fun and exciting. It's supposed to be something to look forward to especially in the northern hemisphere, it gets darker. The seasonal stuff is coming along. So please answer the questions. A lot of them are actually required so that I have some information to pass along. Make sure you choose if you are willing to ship international. And the more information you give to me is I can then find someone who might match you really well. There's two more questions. One is if you might want to be an angel for someone who does not receive their mail. There might be postal accidents, or maybe someone actually just ghosts us. We always have to, it's probably never intentional, but sometimes life just happens and we need someone to step in. That would be awesome if you could check that box. And then also, if you have any feedback or maybe want me to know something specific, like you only have 3 ink bottles, but you would love to participate, stuff like that. If you have any organizational questions or any other feedback, please share that with me in the email that is provided in the top of the questionnaire. But yeah, I am really excited and a tiny bit nervous because this might be a lot of work or nobody will sign up. So if you are participating, please share it on all of your social media channels so we get a bunch of us to participate. Here I am comparing Tea Time and Altgoldgrün. And they are really super, super close. I think I'm going to include a photo of another chromatography that I just made with Altgoldgrün, so that we can see that even better. But I'm excited for the swap. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait what comes of this, if this works, and if it's doable for me to make this happen. I'm thinking of maybe doing this twice a year. Who knows? Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. I'm really excited for this. Yeah. Now click the sign up link in the description box and I will see you soon. Bye.